I just wanted to take a moment real quick, guys. You know, I like when I talk and when I speak, guys, I like to be in my little places of serenity, although it's kind of noisy over there, but I hope you guys can hear me. Listen, what I want to say is this, guys. We are living in unpredictable times right now here in America. Well, here in the world, period, but more or less in America, because that's where I'm at. And so the thing of it is, guys, I feel bad for the youth that are coming up, kids that are being born in this day and age. They're not going to know any better. They're going to be born and come up, and they're going to think that this is the way that it's supposed to be, and it is not the way that it's supposed to be. So I feel bad for those kids in that regard. But you know, America will never be the same. This country has transformed within probably the last 10 years or so, but really drastically changed within the last 2 years, guys. And it'll never be the same. It'll never go back to being the way that it used to be. You know, being free is your birthright, and it seems like they're trying to take that away from us now, make us comply, make us conform to a certain agenda or a certain narrative. I did a video a while back called "Are You Free?" and I talked about a little bit of this in that video, guys. And are you free? This has nothing to do with if you're black, white, brown, pink, purple. It has nothing to do with your race, nothing to do with the color of your skin, nothing to do with how much money you have in the bank, how wealthy you are. It has nothing to do with whether you're a man or a woman. It has nothing to do with any of that, because there's only certain things that you can control. You can control you and yourself. But it seems like if you are in certain positions, they want to take away your natural freedom. I'm not knocking anybody for doing what they have to do. Sometimes when you're pushed in a certain situation, when it comes down to your family or when it comes down to your quality of life, you have to do what you have to do. I'm talking about those who have a choice, and we all have choice. Even in those situations, we have choices. But more or less, those who are not under that type of dictatorship, because to me, it's really a dictatorship, because you're not. You know, the First Amendment right is kind of out of the window. I'm going to remove those rights, and you have no rights. You have to either do what I tell you to do, or you know, you find something else to do. And that's really, it has really disrupted my spirit, guys. And I can't just sit back and pretend like everything is good. That's the reason why I always talk about being mentally aware and spiritually well. And when you think with your third eye has the ability to see things beyond what these two eyes can't see. You got two type of people in this world. You got, are you a leader, or are you the led? Are you a leader, or are you a follower? It's simple. It's as simple as that. Me, myself, in case you didn't know, I'm a leader. I'm a warrior. I would never follow. Never. It's just not in me to do it. I question everything. I don't believe nothing that I hear, and absolutely less than half of what I see. Because as I know, there's a lot of deception. I'm just going to say it, guys. I'm going to be blunt with you. There's a lot of deception. There's a lot of organizations. There's a lot of groups jockeying for power and control over you. And they will do whatever they have to do to gain power and control over you. You see, because it's very simple. I don't have to control you physically, because if I can get you up here in your mind, the physical will follow. I can control your mind. And see, when they say the mind is a terrible thing to waste, it's for real. That's how you get people to comply and to do what you want them to do. Just get them up here. Make them believe something that maybe they're lacking in their life. They want to control you. They take away your freedom. You have to have this before you can do that. Take away your quality of life. If you don't do this, then I'm not going to let you travel. If you don't do that, you're going to lose your job. That's how they control you. Who has the right to do that? I thought we lived in America. I live in Florida, guys. People are dying to come to this country. It's supposed to be one of the greatest countries in the world, and it is. But when you have certain people behind certain groups, certain organizations, and certain entities behind the trigger, the look and the quality of life that we once had start to change. Me and my co-workers were having a conversation last week, and we were talking about buying land, buying property. And if you notice, guys, pay attention. If you notice, there's a lot of people who are looking, and it hadn't just started now. See, some people have the ability to think ahead and see things for what it really is. People are starting to buy up land. They're starting to buy, and they're starting to build, and they're starting to move away from the city with all the mandatory this, mandatory that, you know. And there's a reason why people are doing that. People are leaving the city, the bigger cities, such as myself, getting away from the bigger cities. Now, when I had the idea to move away from like the south, like the metropolitan kind of, so to speak, area down here in South Florida, it wasn't for that reason. But now I'm glad, to be honest with you, that I'm getting away from here, because the bigger the population is, the more the control is going to be. And once again, like I say, guys, it's getting worse. It is getting worse. It is not getting any better. It is getting worse. And if you defy the powers that be, they're not going to just spank you. Oops, they're not going to just spank you on the wrist. They're going to cut off your lifeline. They're going to cut off your lifeline. Remember, are you a leader, or are you the led? Think about it. Take self out of the equation, because sometimes when self is involved in the equation, it clouds our judgment. We're emotional. We're not thinking straight. Be objective. Give it a chance. A lot of people aren't going to change. A lot of people aren't going to be objective. A lot of people are not going to come out of self and think and see it for what it really is, because when you do that, that requires work. You can never go back to thinking the same way once you know the truth. And that's where I'm at, guys. Never go back, because I know the truth. And some people just are comfortable not knowing the truth. They're comfortable with just, I'm just gonna do what they tell me, and that's fine for some people. But doing what they tell you, then it becomes a world to where you guys remember. I'm gonna tell you, these movies out here, and I'm not, some of these movies out here prepare you for certain situations that's coming. You remember, I don't know if you remember, Arnold Schwarzenegger had some movies out, some really, really futuristic movies. Total Recall. You know how it became two different worlds. One world existed up on the top. The other world existed like in a tunnel, basically on the bottom. And those people who didn't want to be controlled, they were living in tunnels. They were living in the underground. And it's getting to be two worlds. Those who resist are going to be living, and they're going to be ousted. If you don't want to do what I tell you to do, you're going to be ousted, and you're going to have to find life elsewhere. sad situation. These movies tell a lot. They tell a story. They tell a true story, but a lot of time because it's a movie, people don't really believe it. They don't pay attention to it. Oh, it's just a movie. Well, you're starting to see now those movies, those futuristic movies, Cyborg, you know, all those movies, those sci-fi movies, a lot of that stuff's starting to come true. Ain't that something? But listen, guys, I'm just rambling. But I appreciate you guys tuning in to pay yourself back, guys. Like the video, share the video, guys. We're getting ready to head on back. I got to make a couple stops and I got to do another video. So that's gonna take up a lot of my time, guys. So, hey man, take it for what it's worth. If it applies, hey, now you know what you need to do. If it doesn't apply, take it with a grain of salt and move on. That being said, guys, once again, thanks. Subscribe to the channel, guys. Until next time, be well, my friend. CeeLos out, baby.